Story time. So, you guys don't know, but my sister is one of the biggest bitches in the world, and I think she likes to say that with like a badge of honor, because she just makes something out of nothing, and she does it quite often too. So she has this friend that she's been friends with for like years or whatever, and she now lives in a different state. She lives in like one of the southern states, like I guess Virginia, Maryland, or I think that that's not New York. To me, it's the South. So she has a friend whose birthday's coming up, and she hired this guy, this like freelance artist, we couldn't even call him that, to design her a pair of specific birthday pants. And so it did not come out right. And the only reason why I know about this is because my sister was livid that her friend didn't ask her to make the pants for her, because she went to not Cosmo school. She went to what do you call that place? Design school, where she learned how to put clothes together. And I'm just like, but why didn't you offer? She was like, it wasn't my place to offer. She was supposed to ask. And I'm just like, how could you get mad at someone for like not asking you when you don't ever seem really interested? My sister right now is on this wave of being like an entrepreneur and doing other things that has nothing to do with fashion. So in her friend's defense, I wouldn't have asked your ass either. Then on top of that, my sister has the worst attitude in the fucking world, where like she could be delightful if she wants to. She could be amazing with customer service if she chooses to. But keyword chooses to. And I'm just like, I can't take it. So this morning, I'm getting up and I'm over here getting ready to go to work, and this bitch is just giving it to her friend, like look what happened when you chose an amateur. I was just like, who are you talking to like this? And she was just reading her friend for filth, and I was just like, how could you talk to her like that? Bitch, me personally, I could just never accept this level of disrespect. Because if you ever, and quite frankly, I can honestly say that I don't accept that level of disrespect, because my friends and I, my personal friends, they get really uncomfortable when my sister and I are together because we clash like fucking titans. My sister's just one of those people, in my personal opinion, like I cannot back down from her. If you back down from this bitch, because she's bark and bite, but mostly bark, but her bark is so fucking annoying that it makes you want to bite. So I'm just like, So I've learned not to have her around me with my friends, and just to keep her at bay. So back onto the friend thing. Her friends being passive aggressive, not really passive aggressive, but being passive about the new response that she's trying to tell her. She's like, maybe you can buy the material, maybe you could design it next time. I mean, I would personally think that you would want to do this too, since you made such a big deal about it the last time. And guess what? She's over here being an Uber bitch. She's like, no, sorry. If you want to, you can try, you can do it. You can buy all the materials if you want. You just gotta catch me when I'm in the mood to do so. Fuck? In the mood to do so? Didn't you just curse me out for not having your back, or wanting me to have you involved in something that technically did not even involve you? So now when I'm involving you, you want to be a bitch about it? Quite frankly, I don't know how this bitch gets friends. So her friend recognizes that she's being a bitch to her, and she's just like, oh girl, you shady. Why you acting like that? She was like, I could have just stayed with him or all that. My sister was like, no, you couldn't have, because he's an amateur and I have 6 years of professional training. And her friend was like, what do you mean 6 years? You did that shit in high school. Girl, she went to one of those, the off-brand schools. Like, she went to FIT, but for the high school version of it. And I'm just like, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle, because experience is experience. But she got you there, because my sister over here talking to her like she's done it professionally in college. And because, you know, college is a whole new level of experiences, and it opens your eyes up to like almost a lot of, it just opens your eyes up to a lot of stuff. And yes, this all happened this morning. So all right, the real story of the fact is, my sister's mad at her because she spent $100 and something giving the man the money to buy the pants, to design the pants, and when she got it, her thighs broke the pants. So overall, my sister's like, you chose somebody who didn't know women's sizes, didn't know women's clothing, and someone who's basically basic at what they do. So on that fact, she does have a point that she did choose somebody who doesn't know how to do anything. In my personal opinion, I would have just bought the pair of pants, given it to you, and you could have designed it that way. However, my sister, I think she did say it was like 200 or something, because the person was considering the cost of the clothing so that they can also take the piece of the profit from it. However, I just think that if you're gonna do this stuff, you should just, you know, have a little bit more common sense on it, because she's over here telling her like, oh, why didn't you have him measure you? She was like, oh, but I'm in the South and he's in New York. She was like, my sister was like, bitch, you couldn't tell him to call FaceTime you and to tell you to measure yourself? I was like, well, she hit you a logic there, bitch. She hit you a logic there. So at this point, I already left the house and they already still going at it. But then again, I've seen her friend outside of like my sister, and she's a little bit of a bitch too. So that also goes into the logic, I think, of like, people are friends for a reason, because like they know people's true personalities. But overall, the way my sister be talking to me, even me sometimes, I be want to slap the shit out of her. Yeah, the disrespect can never be on that level the way she spoke to her this morning.